Okay, welcome back, everyone. This is our third class of Intro to Latin, and I hope you guys had a great break.
Chocolate.
Does anyone have any questions before we begin? No? Okay. So here is our plan for today. We're going to review the vocab from last week, and we're going to learn a new set of words this week. And then we're going to review the first person feminine endings, and we're going to learn about the second person masculine endings, and we're going to practice declining with the second person masculine endings. We're going to learn a new mythology, and then we're going to play a review game at the end of class. Does that sound good to everyone? Any questions? Okay. We will play booklet at the end of class. Does that sound good? And then you guys can pick the mode, and we can discuss that at the end of class. Okay, we won't play Gold Rush. I think we'll probably play Classic, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't even know what Gold Rush is.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Oh.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see at the end of class. We can talk about that at the end of class. Okay. So we're going to do vocabulary. Does anyone remember the vocab from last time?
We're gonna go over it, so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Joyce, you want to go over these?
Yeah, okay, we can just do it like last week.
Mhm.
We answer them one by one. So the first one, Silva. What order you said it?
Very good, Sophie. That's correct.
Forest. Yeah, we did do this. We did this last week.
This is last week. We're just seeing if you guys remember this.
Yeah, the third one is Farmhouse.
Trumpet is correct. And then what about the last one? Yes, very good.
Okay.
Okay. Seems like everyone remembers this.
Oh, you weren't here last time? It's
Okay, that's completely fine. Did you see the video that was posted?
Or just like look at the slides.
Yeah. No? Okay, that's okay. You can look at the slides from last week. It's all in Google Classroom. Are you in Google Classroom? You have it? Okay. If you have any questions, you can just ask us. We're going to review a lot of last week's stuff too. So here is our new vocabulary list, and we're going to go through each of these in detail. Also, guys, please pay attention to everything we learn in class today, because the game that we're playing at the end of class is based on everything we learn right now. So make sure you pay attention now so you know what the answers are for the game.
These are good guesses, but they're not quite right.
Yeah, they're not quite right. Potato is not correct for the first one. Okay, so we're going to go through these. All right, number one.
So it's not potato, it's
Not potato.
Yeah, it's poet. So the declension, you decline it as a first feminine word, but the word is masculine despite it having the AE ending. So it's like one of the exception words. Yeah.
Poeta, and it means poet. And then I think someone asked me that they wanted us to put the vocabulary words in a sentence, right? I think Daphne asked that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So we did that.
Oh, yeah, we did that. So at the end.
Yeah, it kind of does like George Washington.
Yeah. So at the bottom is an example sentence, sum poeta. I don't think you guys learned sum yet, but this just means I am. So the sentence translates to I am a poet. Okay. Next one, Agricola, and it means farmer. So whoever said agriculture, you're kind of right, because it does come from Agricola, but Agricola means farmer. And similarly with poeta, it also ends in A and AE, but it's a first masculine, second masculine.
Yeah.
It's those weird ones, but it is a masculine word.
Taking notes.
So the sentence we gave was Agricola vidit, which means the farmer, sees, basically. Any questions before we move on?
Wait, it's second
What
mask?
did you say again?
With what?
What's the sentence again? What does it mean again?
It means the farmer sees, because Agricola means a farmer, and then vidit means sees. So a farmer sees, or the farmer sees. And it's second masculine. We're going to learn about what second masculine later in the class. All right. Joyce, do you want to do this one?
Yeah, this one is Deus. It means God. It doesn't mean Zeus, but yeah, it means God.
Yeah, remember when we learned about
Yeah,
Dia
it is.
last week? I meant goddess. This means God because it's masculine, so it's God. It's a male. Yeah, I think this is Pluto, actually, not Zeus. And then it's also second masculine. And the example sentence we give was Deus et Dia, which means the god and the goddess. That's not really a complete sentence, but it's just kind of like a example.
Wait, so all of them are second masculine?
The first two were first masculine because it's a first declension, but the gender is masculine. So that's why it's like an exception.
Yeah, the first two are kind of weird because they have feminine endings, but they're masculine words.
Yeah, but you decline it like a feminine word, like exactly like you would.
Yeah, but all the rest of these are second masculine.
I think one of them might be third masculine.
All right, but this one's pretty simple because we learned dia, so this is basically the same as dia, but it's the masculine form. And then this is puer, and then
Like
it means boy, because we learned puella, and puella meant girl. Puer means boy. So a second masculine, and the example sentence we have is puer puellum amat, which basically means the boy loves the girl. And amat means loves, and because puellum ends in am, and remember am is accusative, which means it's the object of the sentence. So that's why it's the boy loves the girl and not the girl loves the boy. Well, first masculine doesn't really equal first feminine. It's just that there's sometimes, like, you know how in English there are sometimes like words that go against the standard. So basically this is just kind of like it's a weird one, but it's not that big of, because there's only, I think, 2 words that are kind of
it's
weird.
like just those main two that you have to remember.
They're
like the exceptions.
Any questions? Concerns? Okay.
Yeah, so this is the third masculine word. It's rex, regis, which means king.
Why is it third masculine?
It just is.
Okay. So this means king. It's also a noun. And then the example sentence is rex amat reginam, which means the king loves the queen. Yes, reign did come from. Well, actually, there's another word that actually means command, and it's kind of similar to reign. But yes, it's definitely part of it. T-Rex, no, Rex does not mean T-Rex. Yes, there's so much. Well, I'm trying to give you guys simple sentences, so it's not completely off. Okay, and the final word is vir, which means man. second masculine. And the example sentence we gave was vir es fortem, which means the man is strong. So vir means man, es means is, and then fortem means strong. And it is accusative because you can see the em ending, which is kind of similar to am. We're going to talk about this later, but the em ending is like, it means it's accusative, which means it's the object of the sentence. That's why it's the man is strong and not the strong is man. He's not sleepy. He's just closing his eyes.
He's thinking.
He's listening to music.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so those were the words of this week. Does anyone have any questions? Do you guys want us to go back to any of the words?
No.
We're good? Okay. Remember, you guys have to remember these words because these words are going to be on the game that we play at the end of class. So you can take notes and you can take pictures if you want right now. Okay, now we're going to go back into declensions. So does anyone remember what declensions are? You guys remember the first feminine declensions that we learned 2 weeks ago, basically?
Yeah, if you guys do, you can annotate if you want.
Yeah, you can annotate if you want. Just be mindful if you see someone already annotated, just move on to the next one.
Oh no.
It's okay, as long as we can see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah, everything looks right.
Very good. Seems like you guys all remember it, which is really good. All right, very good. Let me. All right. Very good. So, okay, wait.
Do it again with.
All right, so now this is like a practice. Okay, guys, wait.
Okay, not just the ending
Okay,
now.
guys, okay, stop annotating for a second. Wait, stop annotating for just a second. So now using porta, you guys can fill in the blanks. Okay.
If you guys can type, it might be a little easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. So remember, we find the root and then we just plug in the endings. And this was your homework last week, similar. So yes, you guys seem to be very good at this.
I don't get it.
You don't
Yeah,
get-
because you weren't here last time, right?
No.
Okay, did you look at the slides from last week?
You were in the classroom like yesterday or something.
Okay, that's okay. So basically, declensions are how you are able to identify what the word means in a sentence. Basically, it's like what part of the word, like what part of the sentence a word is. There are
it's
5
very
declensions. There are 5 declensions: nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. Nominative means it is the subject of the sentence. Genitive means it is possession. Dative means it's an indirect object. Accusative means it is the direct object, and ablative means it is an object of the preposition. And how you know which is which, they have endings. And our ending last week was first feminine. As you can see with everyone filling stuff in right now, it's A, A-E, A-E, A-M, long A, A-E, A-R-U-M, I-S, A-S, I-S. I don't expect you to know this right away because you weren't here last week, but that's basically like the concept of it. And how you decline it is you take the word, because we give you the word right here, porta and porte. You cut off the ending and you have port. Port is your root. and you just basically add on the endings if you want to make it like nominative singular, nominative plural, anything like that. So since nominative means the subject, if it's singular, the word would just be the gate. And if it was plural, it would be the gates, plural. For genitive, it's possession. So if you would translate it, it would be of the gate. And the plural one would be of the gates, and so on. I know this is like really quick, but that's just kind of like a quick overview. And if you look in our slides from last week, we go over basically every one. And we're going to be learning a different declension today. So maybe you can hopefully.
But don't worry too much about it. Like just
Since you weren't here last week, it is a little difficult. You can also look at our video on Alphademics on our class last week if the slides don't make sense to you. Okay, so here are the endings for this week.
yeah, the second declension.
No, we don't get paid. All right, Joyce, you want to go over it?
Yeah, okay. So remember you can ignore the vocative case, but we put it in there in case you want to know. So nominative, you have 3 of them. It's either U, S, E, R, or I, R, and you'll know which one it is, just like based on the word.
Mhm.
And then
It's kind of similar to the.
it's kind of similar to the feminine. So singular side in order, it's U, S, E, R, I, R, I, O, U, M, O. And you can ignore the lawn marks, so don't worry about those.
Mhm.
And for plural, it's I, O, R, U, M, I, S, O, S, I, S.
It's very similar. There's just no more A's. So there's like.
This is probably my least favorite chart because I don't like the way it looks.
Mhm.
But it's still simple. Like it's the same concept.
What is SSL? I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, never heard of it.
But this is a volunteering experience, guys. We don't get paid, but we do get hours. Oh, yeah, we know what sign language is.
Does it stand for sign language?
Well, it's usually ASL, American Sign Language, or like whatever other it is.
Spanish sign language.
Can you go back to that? I want to see it.
Oh, you meant student services learning. Yeah.
Singapore Sign Language. Oh yeah, I'll go back to the next slide. Did everyone get the right? Did you get everyone? You should probably take a picture of the slide because I'm on the review game. It's going to be basically asking what each ending is. So make sure you memorize this.
If you write it down, you'll memorize it better.
Mhm. I'm not sure how you really screenshot it. If you have a phone or something, you can.
Is it like Control Shift and a number? I don't know.
It's different on different computers.
Yeah, it depends on what computer you're using it with.
You can like search it up on Google.
Well, if you have a Mac, it's Control Command 3. Someone said.
Or 4. 4 is for like a certain section. 3 is for the whole screen.
Oh.
Is everyone good with this screen? Can I move on? 3, 2.
No.
No? Okay.
Okay. Someone said to wait.
Andrew, are you good now? You good? Yes? No? Okay, I'm gonna move on. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So here is some practice. Okay, we're gonna do the first one and then you guys can do the rest. Good. There's 3 of them and we'll do the first one for you guys, okay? Sound good? Okay. So remember what we do first is, so remember the first thing we do is we find the root. So we cut off the ending And so the root is this, amica.
Oh, wait, you're doing it. Okay.
You could do it with me because it's probably gonna take me a while. It's just me. So this is the root, and we plug this in for all of it because it's always gonna be the same root. So remember, if you find the root, you got it. No, it's not correct. Because remember, we're not doing the first feminine anymore. We're doing the second masculine.
ER, right?
Okay, actually, wait, yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, wait. So you guys see it's USER or IR. It's because usually it's going to be US, but there are some cases where it is ER. But don't worry, because we're always going to tell you what the nominative singular is.
Yeah, just copy it right here. Like whatever it says here.
Yeah, we're always, because you see right here, we always give you guys the nominative singular and the genitive singular. So, but yeah, different words like puer. Puer is second masculine, but it ends in ER. So there's just a more variety in this one, but it's usually US.
Amicum for dative isn't correct.
Yeah, look at the chart, or you guys need help.
Yeah, that's right, an O.
Very good. Okay, you guys are very.
Everything else looks right so far. And then does anyone want to do the ablative? Yes. And yeah, IS, that's right.
Okay, very good. Okay. All right, and then here's another practice with Taurus. Does anyone know Taurus here?
Me and Jiayi both are.
Yeah, we're both Tauruses.
Taurus is like the geological sign for.
Yeah, the zodiac sign.
Astrology. I don't know if anyone's into astrology here.
I'm Aquarius.
Cool. Aquarius, aqua. Even though Aquarius isn't a water sign. As long as you know the endings. Yes, very good, Taro. And then on the last one, we can go over a little bit of translations. But actually, we have a translation practice slide, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
All of this looks right.
Very good.
Okay, there's one more, and that's the last one.
Last one. All right, here's one. Here's the last one. Year. And you guys can see right here, it's ER, not US.
For the ablative plural, you're forgetting the R, but it might just be a mistake. I think in some places you guys are forgetting the R. So it should be AGR and then the ending.
Oh yeah, because you're getting confused. Okay, yeah. Remember, guys, here, let me show my pointer. I can see why you're getting confused, but remember, you see how we give you the genitive singular right here? Usually they are the same, but in this instance, since it's ER is kind of different, but use this one. You see how if you cut off the I, you get AGR, not AG, it's AGR. But yeah, I can see why you guys.
Usually it's fine, but for this one, it's just different.
Yeah. Some of them are just different.
Yeah. So for each of them, except the nominative, just AGR and then the endings.
Mhm. AGR. Good job, Sophie. Ooh.
How come there's so many scribbles on the screen?
I think a lot of people are just writing.
Yeah, sorry. It's kind of hard when there's so many people in the class, but we still want it to be like an active, interactive thing.
I don't know how Amicus got there.
Okay. Well, I think you guys all get it at this point. Okay. So now we're gonna do some translations. Does everyone remember how you translate nominative, genitive, all that stuff? Do you remember that? Yes. Okay. Okay, very good. So we're gonna do that here. So does anyone want to try translating the first one? I'll call on the first one you think is genitive singular. Yes, you would be correct. There's also many different ones. So as long as you get one of them right, it'd be correct. Okay.
Yeah, the other one was being nominative plural.
It's genitive singular, it's nominative plural. And so on. Okay. Well, do you guys want to try translating the first one? Does anyone want to try? If it's genitive singular, how would you translate it?
The word means food.
Please don't annotate.
I don't know how to translate the genitive case, like no matter what word it is.
You guys remember the translation?
Yeah, of the food. Yeah.
Because remember, genitive is of the, and then since it means food and it's singular, it would just be food, of the food. Very good. And how would you do the second one if it's genitive plural?
Of the foods.
All right, so what is the case for the third one?
There are two.
Two possible. Dative singular. Very good.
Does anyone know the other one?
So how would you translate dative singular? It's also ablative, dative and ablative.
So whichever one you want to translate.
Yeah, either one was correct. Either one would be correct.
Does anyone have a translation?
Anyone want to try?
Yeah, for the food.
That would be dative to the food. To/for the food would both be dative. And then under the food would be a good ablative meaning. Very good. All right, what about number 4?
There's only one for this one.
Yes, there's only one possible answer for number 4.
Yeah, nominative. Nominative singular, yes.
Very good. It's nominative singular. And then how would you translate nominative singular? The food. Very good. The food.
Or you can just say food.
Food, the food, a food, anything like that. All right, 2 more. So we want to do number 5. What is number 5? Sibum.
Yeah, accusative singular.
Accusative singular. Yes, you're correct. And then how would you translate accusative singular? Accusative singular is very similar to another one. Yes, do you need help? Okay. Accusative singular would be the food. Again, it's accusative singular and nominative. Nominative and accusative have both the same translations. It's just the or a. So very good. What about number 6? Last one. There's 2 possible answers for this one.
Yeah, Andrew, that's right. It could be either be dative or ablative plural. For the foods, yes.
Yes, very good.
On the foods, yes.
All right, very good, guys, with the translations. So now we're going to do, yes, you guys are all correct. For the foods, to the food, on the food, those are all correct. All correct. All right, now we're going to do mythology. So this is our mythology story of the day. Okay. So today's tale is the tale of Jupiter and the honeybee. Basically, a long time ago, the bees were angry at the mortals because they were always stealing their honeys, and they longed for a weapon that they could equip to protect their honeys from these people. This is okay.
So are their weapons their stingers?
Yeah, so you can probably guess what the weapon is.
I mean, yeah, you could probably understand. You can probably guess where this is going. But basically, this is before, long time before they had their stingers, and they wanted something to protect their honey from these thieves who stole their stuff. So one day, the queen bee basically decided to take a trip and go meet Jupiter because he was like the god, the king of all gods. And when she was there, she gave some of her honey to Jupiter, and Jupiter really liked the honey and the gift, and he decided to grant her one wish so she could get whatever they want.
I would wish for infinite wishes.
Okay. Well, Jupiter's not a very nice guy, so he would probably kill you for saying that. He doesn't like to be outsmarted. So basically, the bee king asked him for a weapon that would kill those who wished to steal their honey. However, so Jupiter was appalled by this wish, but he decided to grant it anyways. But there was a twist, because Jupiter loved the mortals and he did not approve of her tactic and her wish. So basically, Jupiter granted her wish with the power to hurt those who try to steal their honey. But if she and any other bees decided to use it, they would die. So this is how the stinger on bees were created. So they were able to protect their honey, but if they ended up using it, they would die.
Yeah, so that's like what the twist was.
Mm-hmm. So basically what this teaches us, so this story is basically supposed to represent how revenge has dire consequences, and that wishing good for oneself at the cost of others will lead to downfall. It also shows us how this stinger on the bee was created and why bees die when using it. Yeah, the stinger is a vital organ, but this is just what the people believed back then. This is just a fun story.
But the queen can use it again and again.
Can she? I don't know. But normally when the bee uses it, they die. Well, wasps aren't bee and they don't make honey. So wasps are like a different. Yeah, wasps are mean. They don't make honey and they don't die when they use their stingers. But this is basically, again, this is like it goes to show that mythology plays a big role in their society and in how they live. Okay, does anyone have any questions about this story? This is just a fun little story.
You did? I'd be scared of it.
Anyone have any questions? No? Okay.
3 times. I've never been stung.
So now we're gonna do a review game. And I'm gonna stop the recording here. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next slides because I'm stopping the recording here. So this is for people who are watching the video. So here is like a conclusion slide if you're watching the video, and here's the homework slide. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.